Just a quick little question here. Does anyone in Bridgerton actually work? Because it feels like it's only the help that works. But if the people you're helping don't work, why do they need help? All right, welcome to Taste Take. If you're new here, I do spoiler-free movie and TV reviews. Give you a little background, just so you know if I think it's worth checking out or not. If that's something you're into, hit that subscribe button for your boy. For my regular Taste Takers, let's see if we can Viscount on season 2 to be just as good as season 1. Get it? I said Viscount because Anthony is the... If you think about it, it's clever. Duh, never mind. All right, we're back with season 2 of Bridgerton. When I first reviewed season 1 at the end of 2020, I had no idea who Julia Quinn was. I never heard of these books, and I definitely never heard of this hunk. But now, so much has changed since 2020. Bridgerton is a household name thanks to Shonda Rhimes and Chris Van Dusen. It quickly became the most watched Netflix show like ever, with over 82 million households tuning in. And then there was Squid Game. But for a while, Bridgerton was number 1. Either way, still very impressive for a show in a genre that most people would think they're not into. But we loved it, and so did the Emmys, because they got 12 nominations for season 1. All right, plot time. Okay, let's just get this out of the way in the beginning. Just like season 1 was based on one book in the series, so is season 2. Each book centers around a different couple. This one is naturally based off book 2, The Viscount Who Loved Me. Okay, a different couple. So we all just need to come to grips with the fact that Regé-Jean Page and those eyebrows will never be back. The folks who read the books understand it because they know that the story just moves forward. People like me who just watched the show, we're like, what the hell? Come back. But this dude only signed a 1-season deal in the first place, so everyone just relax. Is everyone relaxed? All right. So while last season centered around the Bridgertons' oldest daughter, Daphne, is it oldest or eldest? I guess it's both. Anyway, season 2 centers around their eldest son, Anthony. But they don't pronounce the H, so they say Anthony. So it's like Jamaican, but British. Anthony. Anyway, if you remember last season, you probably remember Anthony as a protective older brother to Daphne. I mean, he did try to hook her up with that clown Nigel, but that's only because Simon was his boy, and he didn't want his sister dating his boy. It's kind of like in Bad Boys 2, where Martin didn't want Will to date. Okay. But one of the real reasons why Anthony didn't want her dating the Duke is because the Duke didn't want to settle down. And that's exactly how Anthony was. In season 2, Anthony's finally ready to settle down, and his mom wastes no time in telling everybody that the Viscount is finally ready to be married. But who's it gonna be? Anthony knows all these women already, and his standards are damn near impossible to meet until Kate Sharma and her younger sister, Edwina Sharma, pull up in town from India. Then things start to get interesting. And by the way, the London dating scene gotta be so dry, because last season, Daphne had to get her dude from out of town, and this season, it's these girls from India that are shaking things up. Like, the rest of the Bridgertons are gonna have some slim pickings, but I guess that's their problem to solve. Back to Anthony. So Anthony's like, Edwina, what's up, girl? He's thinking, yes, this could work. He doesn't want to get married for love. He doesn't want to deal with anything that could lead to pain and grief. This is strictly business. And Kate, Edwina's protective older sister, knows this. So she's like, oh, nah. What we're not doing is having my sister marry this jerk, womanizer, creep, Viscount Bridgerton, who's kind of hot, and maybe I might like him. So she's out here being the ultimate blocker. But will it be enough to keep her sister from falling for the Viscount? Or will Kate really get in the way in more ways than one? And now we got season 2. So what's my take? This is a different season than the last time around. We expected that. And there's going to be some people who enjoyed season 1 that are going to be a little less interested in season 2. That said, I feel like it's been ages since season 1 came out, and I found myself really forgetting what was the hype about this show, like what made people fall in love with it. And then about 10 minutes into season 2, I remembered. It hooks you in and just keeps you there. I remember when Netflix sent me season 1, I watched the whole thing in like one day, and I hate binging anything. I just never thought I would be the guy obsessed with a show based on a romance novel set in 19th century London. Like, who am I? At the end of the day, I think season 2's story is just as interesting as season 1. So I guess I'll do a quick little mini breakdown of some of the main characters here in season 2. And of course, it's no spoilers, so don't you even worry. Starting with Anthony, I don't think anyone would have really said they were a fan of this dude in season 1. Typical big bro, overprotective, a little hypocritical, just all over the place. This season, they take more time to explain why he might be the way he is. A lot of that boils down to his father dying when he was like 18. So like he had to become the head of the house of this powerful family at a very young age. So there's a lot of pressure. And this season, they spent a lot of time unpacking that. Then Kate, as the president of Netflix's sex education fan club, I was super hyped to see Simone Ashley get cast in Bridgerton, and she's great. I mean, she does have an ugly cry face, but besides that, she's the perfect challenge for Anthony. Bridgerton is a fire show largely because of the writing, and I think the banter between Kate and Anthony is where it shines the brightest. Then to her younger sister Edwina, I've never seen Charithra Chandran before, but she got a nice little future in front of her. She has a nice range in this show from going from like the quiet, shy, naive little sister to like at the end being like, all right, what the hell is going on here? And by the way, this whole Anthony and the Sharma sisters is the most Hamilton and the Schuyler sisters I've seen in all my days. I mean, I guess Hamilton wasn't the prize like Anthony is, because you know my man Hamilton came from the hood. It was really the Schuyler sisters that had all like the money and the fame and the title. And in Hamilton, he marries Eliza, as we know, but there was always something there with Angelica, because she challenged him on the intellectual tip. This man wrote the Federalist Papers. Those things are probably so boring, and Angelica's writing letters to keep up with the guy who wrote those. Yeah, Eliza had no chance. Bless her heart. Anyway, next up, even though we're not going to see the Duke of Hastings in season 2, we do get a little bit of the Duchess, and I love that woman. Daphne really pulls up with a whole new drip this season. I know she's now a Duchess, and they got to respect her in that way, but she now feels like the oldest sibling, and like she's the wise one. She just sees everything, knows everything. Like, we stand the Duchess. The other older brothers, Colin and Benedict, are out here doing their thing. Benedict is probably my favorite Bridgerton. He just wants to do art and turn up. I support that. He doesn't have a huge role here in season 2, but he does have a nice little mini subplot. Colin just got back from Greece and he picked up right where he left off, friend zoning Penelope into oblivion. Colin is kind of boring, but I did want him to end up with Marina. That was messed up. You'll see her too in this season. Then of course we got Eloise Bridgerton here. You know that's the homie. Hates the idea of pretty much all this stuff like marriage, debutantes. She's like the pioneer of feminism. She has a pretty big role in season 2 and causes enough trouble to get in a couple Lady Whistledown headlines, which then makes for a very complicated friendship with Penelope, who we found out is Lady Whistledown at the end of season 1. And speaking of Penelope, even though we as the audience finds out that she's Lady Whistledown, like no one else in London knows. So everyone's on the hunt to still figure out who this is. Also on a side note, it is pretty epic that they call her Pen, and she's literally penning these Lady Whistledown newsletters. Huh? Oh, y'all already figured that out? Okay. Anyway, so she's still running around town looking for gossip because she has no life of her own. And as you can tell, she's easily my least favorite character. And she didn't even diss me in the newsletter. And I guess I could end with the Queen. Of course, there's other characters, but like, you know, like the main ones. I don't feel like I've seen a whole lot of the Queen in this season, but I guess a lot of that is because she has her own spinoff show coming to Netflix. But when you see her, I like the Queen. And she's still the Queen, but I feel like she was a lot nicer this season. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You guys can let me know how you feel about the Queen. Respectfully though, because she can have your head cut off. All right, quick cast breakdown complete. Now, let's just address the elephant in the room. We all know Bridgerton was a huge success. Great story, great acting, great writing, great costumes, great accents. But beyond all of that, you know why some of y'all were so tuned in. 19th century sex scenes, and don't you dare try to deny it, because I already know the whole truth. Season 1, episode 1, 2 minutes and 59 seconds in, and we're seeing butt cheeks. But I ain't never been no punk, and I ain't afraid to admit it. I was here for all those sex scenes. And don't forget, they actually hired actual intimacy coaches to make sure that not only were the scenes steamy, but that they were realistic, and that they made sense. So naturally you're gonna think season 2, it's gotta be just as steamy, maybe even steamier. But it is with the utmost regret that I must inform you that it is indeed not the case. The steamometer has been turned down to 1, maybe even off. Maybe there is no longer a steamometer on the Bridgerton set because they have no use for it. Because the steam has gone to levels that are so low, they can be monitored with modern day technology. Do you get a sex scene or two? Kinda. But I'm not being dramatic when I say you will literally get through half of this season without seeing a makeout. That's not hyperbole. That's real fact. The whole thing just feels like, okay, just hear me out. Y'all ever seen 40 Days and 40 Nights starring a young Josh Hartnett? No? Alright, it's one of my favorite movies. Basically, this dude who's pretty much like a sexual deviant gives up all things sex for Lent. He wants to meet someone and not have sex cloud his judgment. So he meets someone, the iconic Shannon Sossamon at that, and the whole movie is pretty much like, how close can they get to each other without actually touching? It's like an hour and a half of sexual tension because you know they just want to rip each other's clothes off, but they can't. So we're watching it like, is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? That's 40 Days and 40 Nights. It's a very good movie. It's 5-star take. That's how this season is. And I will give it to them. It is impressive. They're doing a pretty good job with this audience tease. Like you're invested. I'll give them that. But for the people that are expecting a season full of love making and love taking, looking at you, Daphne, you might just be a little disappointed. And I'm just joking about that Daphne thing because there was a lot of actual outrage about that whole scene. You know the scene. You know, all right, when she figures out that he's been pulling out and then she flips him over and yeah, you know, and then he's trapped. So then like he can't pull out. You guys know the birds and the bees. I'm not here to teach you that. But yeah, there was a lot of people that called that rape. And then there was a lot of people that said Simon never said no or stop. So it's not rape. But if you want my opinion about it, anyone with an ounce of a brain can tell that that was obvious. And if you don't agree with me, then I guess you're just a moron. So whatever, have fun being a moron. In all seriousness, consent is a big deal. I just hope that, you know, that controversy isn't the reason why they cut back on the sex scenes in season 2. I mean, I guess when y'all watch it, y'all let me know. Maybe you prefer it this way. I just thought we were in agreement that we like the sex scenes. Maybe Bridgerton season 2 gave up sex for Lent. I'm gonna give Bridgerton season 2 4.5 stars. And before you even say, Tate, did you really just deduct a half star for reduced sex scenes? Just know that the answer is yes. Yes, I did. But honestly, I see why people love these books so much, and I love what Chris is doing, giving us this modern take on these period pieces, like this content that we didn't know that we needed. Season 2, awesome story of sister love between Edwina and Kate. Awesome banter back and forth between Kate and Anthony. Overall, another season like season 1 of just these siblings, like living in this like nobility, but at the end of the day, like they're still siblings and they do things that normal siblings do. Dealing with the death of a parent, dealing with being the man of the house, raising children. It just covers a lot of ground. And if there's a little less sex for that content, then so be it. Just know there's a couple people out there who may be looking for more steam. I don't know who they are, but if you do a survey, I hope people check it out with the same excitement level they did for season 1 and are not hung up on the fact that Regé-'s not there. Even though it could have been cool to get a low-key cameo, maybe when Anthony was having these, you know, conflicts, just to come in and give some brotherly advice. But we got the Duchess for that, and there ain't nothing a woman can't do. Anyway, I think it's a great news story and leaves a lot to be discovered for the upcoming seasons. But before then, Season 2 of Bridgerton comes exclusively to Netflix starting on March 25th. As always, thanks for checking out Tate's Take. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like and that subscribe button. In the comments, let me know. Like, y'all know I don't read the books, but how does this one compare to the second book in the series? And also, is the third book fire? Should we expect some heat coming up? What do y'all think of season 2 compared to season 1? Of course, it's unfair to compare these things, but that's what humans do. We're gonna compare some things. I think season 1's better, but I think this is just as, like, gripping. I don't like using that word. It's like a TV word, but it was pretty gripping. Nah. What are you gonna do? Thanks for the time. Peace.